If something feels off in your loved one's nursing home, there's new bruises, a fracture, or a bed sore, you're not overreacting. I'm attorney Armando Edmiston, and we're going to talk about what abuse and neglect look like in a nursing home in Florida. Abuse is intentionally hurting the loved one or the resident. Neglect is failing to provide the basic needs, such as nutrition, such as cleanliness or hygiene, that leads to either malnutrition, death, bed sores, all sorts of health problems. Why does abuse and neglect happen? It's because the nursing home 90% of the time doesn't follow the care plan, and people are just not paying attention. They either are too busy, understaffed, or they don't care. So the most common types of cases that we have are either falls and fractures, we have bed sore cases, we have elopement or wandering cases, we have wrongful death cases, we have bed entrapment cases. Those are the most common ones that we have. If somebody thinks that they have a case against a nursing home, you have 2 years in the state of Florida to bring a claim against them. When someone has a bed sore in a nursing home, bed sores are caused by failing to move or turn or rotate your loved one for long periods of extended time. Things that you're gonna do or look for is, you should always be doing a skin check. If your loved one is in bed, you need to make sure that they are rotated. You're gonna ask the care plan to make sure that they are taking into consideration a possibility of bed sore, and you wanna visually inspect your loved ones. We typically prove the bed sore cases because we ask for a copy of the care plan, and it should outline when and how often your loved one's being rotated. Bed sores happen because your loved one is not being rotated or moved for long periods of extended time, or they're not being properly cleaned and they lay in their feces or urine for long periods of time. So when you're dealing with falls and fractures, the things that you're gonna look for is either the resident is not properly transitioned or moved in between the bed and either a chair, or from the chair to a couch, or from the couch to the bed. Most falls and fractures happen when there isn't enough help to move or transfer the resident. The other thing that you're gonna look for is whether they have the proper restraints to protect your loved one. If your loved one has a history of falls, what are they doing to prevent future falls? So if your loved one falls, the most common injuries that we see are fractures of the shoulder, fractures of the hip, contusions, traumatic brain injury, gashes to the head. Those are the most common fractures that we see and injuries from a fall. So wandering and elopement cases generally is because the loved one wanders off or away from the facility because the facility does not take the proper precautions to make sure that the doors are properly secured, that the windows are properly secured. This happens in memory care units, and when these people wander or elope off the property, they fall, they fracture their hip, they fracture their arm, or potentially they get hit by a car. So we also handle choking cases. A lot of seniors in Florida have a condition called dysphagia, which is the inability to swallow. So if the nursing home isn't properly monitoring these residents with special needs, their care plan for food, then the kitchen could incorrectly bring the wrong food, or one of the CNAs or the nurses could be feeding them the incorrect size food, and that will lead to a choking hazard, which ultimately leads to death of the resident. So another common pattern that unfortunately we see is because the nursing homes are so understaffed, a lot of times they aren't there to watch the residents eat. So they will bring the food, they will place it in front of the resident, and they're so busy they don't even realize they're placing the wrong size food in front of people with dysphagia. And so the resident may start eating this food not realizing it's the wrong size, and that leads to choking and death. So dehydration and malnutrition is another one of the common things that we see in nursing homes. And the issue is that the malnutrition and the dehydration is gonna lead the resident to become weak. They're gonna get dizzy, and when they start to move or transfer, that's gonna lead to a fall that's gonna cause a fracture of the hip or a fracture of the shoulder or traumatic brain injury, which leads to death. So another one of the injuries or problems that we see in nursing homes are bed rail entrapment cases. And in those cases, what we see is that the resident, unfortunately, has been unsupervised for a long period of time, and he tries to roll over or roll out of bed because he needs to run to the bathroom, and he's hit the call button and nobody has come to help him. And they get caught in the bed rail, they end up choking and unfortunately dying. So wrongful death is the final of the unfortunate things that we see in nursing homes, and wrongful death can be attributed to all of the other things that we've discussed, which is falls, fractures, bed sores, entrapment, elopement. Unfortunately, that leads to a wrongful death claim. If you become aware of any of these issues that we have discussed, falls, fractures, bed sores, dehydration or malnutrition issues, elopement or wandering issues, or a wrongful death, you have 2 years from the date of that incident to file a claim. Call us immediately so that we can preserve the evidence to prove your case. We can preserve the videos. We can ask for all the records so that we have evidence to prove that your loved one was abused and neglected. Don't wait, because if you sit, every day that you sit is an opportunity for evidence to be lost, medical records to be displaced. Also, please call DCF immediately, Department of Children and Families, and ACCA, and report the abuse or the neglect of your loved one. Call us today for a free consultation so that we can preserve the video evidence, the charts, the logs, everything we need to prove that your loved one was abused and neglected. Abuse and neglect is no accident. It's a pattern, and it's our job to prove it and hold them accountable. So don't wait to contact us. Call us right away.